Hello and welcome to the first English for SPM online class. My name is Miss Leong from SMK Balingkedah, and today we will be discussing Section A of an SPM trial examination from Perak. I will go through each question and discuss the meanings of the words or phrases. Then, you will have 15 seconds to answer the question. After that, I will provide an explanation of the answer, and you can check if your answer is correct. At the end of this video, you are required to complete a short vocabulary quiz that I have prepared in Quizlet. The link is in the description below. And with that, let's get started. That before you answer the question, you must read the question and also the options carefully, and then you read the text on top. So I repeat, you must read the question and the options carefully before you read the text on top. Now, why do you do this? Okay, you should do this because if you do not read the questions and the options, you are not sure what you're looking for in the text here. So to save you time, okay, I suggest that you read the question and the options before you actually read the text. Let's start with our first question. So like I mentioned just now, you need to read the question and also the options. Alright, number 1. From the weather chart above, which place will not be sunny any time of the day? Okay, so they give you 4 options: Ipoh, Seremban, Shah Alam, Kuala Terengganu. Let's see the text. Okay, the text says today's weather forecast. A forecast is a prediction, okay? A prediction of what will happen to the weather for that day. So, 4 places: Kuala Terengganu, Ipoh, Seremban, Shah Alam. They divide it into 2 time periods, AM and PM. So Kuala Terengganu is cloudy in the morning. In the afternoon or the evening, it's rainy. Alright, so cloudy, rainy. Ipoh, sunny and cloudy. Seremban, isolated rain, sunny. Shah Alam, sunny, fair. Okay, before we answer the question, I'm just going to discuss the vocabulary here. Okay, so the first one is isolated rain. What is the meaning of isolated rain? Let's look at our vocabulary list. So isolated rain, isolated rain means there is interrupted rain. Interrupted rain meaning it will rain for a while and then it will stop, and it will rain again and then it will stop. So that's the meaning of isolated rain. Okay, so going back to the question, which place will not be sunny? I'm going to give you 15 seconds, and during this time, I want you to answer the question, or if you have already answered the question, then please check your answer. Starting now. Alright, time's up. So, first question, if you answered D, Kuala Terengganu, then you are correct. So the first question, the answer is Kuala Terengganu because in the morning it's cloudy and in the afternoon there is rain. So there is no sun at all. Okay, no sun at all. We are moving on to question number 2. Question number 2. From the extract above, the phrase seek out can best be replaced with, okay, seek out, A, shift, B, trail, C, find, or D, chase. Okay, so let's look at the text. When buying gifts for friends and family, pick up an extra toy or another item and donate it to a charity on their behalf. You can also seek out charity bazaars or bazaars while you shop. Okay, so which word in the options here has the same meaning as the phrase seek out? Before we continue to answer the question, let's look at the meaning of the word shift and also trail. Alright, so let's look at our vocabulary list. The word shift. The word shift means move. Okay, so you move something. The word trail means you follow behind. Or, there is another meaning, it can also mean a track or a mark. Okay, but in this question, the word trail means follow behind. Okay, so let's look at the question again. The phrase seek out can best be replaced with A, shift, B, trail, C, find, D, chase. 15 seconds, please answer the question. Starting now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you answered the question. So for number 2, if you answered C, then yes, you are correct. The meaning of seek out, you can replace it with find. So you can also find charity bazaars while you shop. Let's go to question 3. What can you conclude from the above information? Conclude here means you make a conclusion. Kamu buat satu kesimpulan. So A, every part of the coconut tree is useful. B, coconut milk can be obtained from the coconut flesh. C, the trunk of the coconut tree is used to make decorative items. Or D, cooking oil is made from the clear sweet liquid found in the coconut. Let's look at the text. The coconut tree is a useful plant. The fruit contains a clear sweet liquid that makes a refreshing drink. The flesh of the fruit can be grated and coconut milk can be obtained from it. Alright, so I want to discuss the word grated later. Okay, let's continue. We use coconut milk for cooking curries and other favorite Malaysian dishes and cakes. The flesh of the coconut is dried and cooking oil is processed from it. The shell can be made into cooking utensils and ornaments. Okay, I want to discuss this. Utensils and ornaments. The trunk of the tree can be used as a bridge across a small ditch. The leaves can be woven to make partitions to separate rooms. Okay, so let's look at the meaning of the words that I underlined here. Okay, our vocabulary list. So, the word grate here means scrape. In Malay, you say something like parut. Alright, so number 5. What is a utensil? A utensil is a tool. So for example, a spatula or a bowl. Number 6, what is an ornament? An ornament is a decoration. So in Malay, you say barang hiasan. And number 7, what is a ditch? It's a small drain. In Malay, you call it a longgang. And, okay, number 8, what is woven? Woven is the past participle of weave. Okay, in Malay, you say anyam. And number 9, partition. Partition means a divider. Penghadang dinding. Alright, so, okay, you know the meaning of these words. Now, let's try to answer the question again. What can you conclude from the above information? So, I'll give you 15 seconds. Okay. Please look through the options again and try to answer the question. Starting now. Okay, so time's up. Number 3. If you answered A, every part of the coconut tree is useful, then you are correct. Let's go on to question 4. From the text, the rhinoceros population is declining mainly due to ... So you gotta fill in the blank here. Alright, so A, poaching. What is poaching? Poaching is illegal hunting. Okay, B, conservation. Okay, conservation meaning you help to protect, all right, and conserve. C, cutting down of trees. And D, being made a heritage. All right, so let's look at the text here. Sumatran rhinos are an important part of Malaysia's heritage. The Sumatran rhino is Malaysia's most endangered animal and the world's most endangered rhino species. As such, the rhino is part of Malaysia's and the world's heritage. The Sumatran rhinoceros population has rapidly declined over the past few decades, primarily due to poaching. A secondary factor is the loss of forest. There are now less than 300 left in the world, save the Sumatran rhinos. Alright, so I am going to highlight the words that I want to discuss. So number 1 is heritage, endangered. Next one is rapidly, declined, decades, and poaching. Okay, so let's look at the meanings of the words here. Starting from number 10, endangered. Endangered means it's almost extinct. Okay, hampir pupus. Number 11, what is heritage? Heritage is cultural or physical property that is passed down through generations. Or you can also call it warisan. Number 12, rapidly. Rapidly means very quickly. Decline, decrease, meaning it goes down. Poaching, meaning illegal hunting. Alright, so now that you know the words, we'll look at the question again. From the text, the rhinoceros population is declining mainly due to... So what is the reason? Okay, 15 seconds. Please answer the question starting now. Alright, so let's look at the answer. If you answered A, then you are correct. Now, let's look at the text again. Where can you find the answer? So, you can see it here. The Sumatran rhinoceros population has rapidly declined over the past few decades, primarily due to poaching. Okay, so you know the population is going down because of poaching or illegal hunting. Question number 5. From the extract, we know that Mr. Wong is ... his driver Arif. So A, dissatisfied with. Dissatisfied means not satisfied. B, suspicious of. Suspicious, okay, meaning curiga in Malay. Yes, you say curiga. And C, angry with. D, curious about. So it's one of these, okay? So Mr. Wong is ... his driver Arif. Now let's look at the text. Aha, that's it. It must have happened then. He had left his briefcase in the car with Arif. Old Arif was his new driver. Wong was concerned when he heard Arif had a big family. With so many mouths to feed, Arif was just the type to be always short of cash. In fact, only yesterday he tried to ask for an advance. Arif must have gone through his briefcase and taken the money. So this is an extract from this story, A Good and Understanding Man by Gosinta. So let's look at some of the vocab that I want to talk about. So the first one is many mouths to feed. Okay, this is a very nice phrase. Number 2 is short of cash. Number 3 is advance. Okay, so let's look at the meanings of these words. Okay, so the first word, advance. Okay, it's not according to order, but that's okay. The word advance here means you lend money or you pay money beforehand. So you ask for an advance, okay, so it means that Arif wanted Mr. Wong, okay, to give him some money first. So that is asking for an advance. Okay, next one. Many mouths to feed. This is a good phrase to use, okay, if you are talking about a person who has to take care of many people financially. Alright, so usually this applies for the breadwinner of the family. A breadwinner is someone who has to work. Okay, he's the only one, he or she is the only one working to get money for the family. So many mouths to feed means this person has to take care of many people financially. Okay, and short of cash means there is not enough money. So in other words, okay, let's look at the question. In other words, Arif here, he doesn't have a lot of money because he has a very big family. Alright, so yeah, let's look at the question again. We know that Mr. Wong is ... his driver Arif. So there is a suspicion, okay, that he has about his driver. Okay, I'm giving you a hint to the answer. So there is a suspicion. Alright, so let's look at, let's give you 15 seconds. Okay, time's up. So if you answered B, suspicious of, then you are correct. So Mr. Wong is suspicious of his driver Arif. Okay, if you don't know what suspicious means, I have mentioned it just now. Suspicious means curiga. Okay, so what is he suspicious about? Mr. Wong, he's suspicious that Arif has taken his money. Alright, so the answer is B. Question number 6. The candidates must fulfill the following requirements except... Alright, so what kind of criteria must they have except for one of these statements here? So A, have own transport, meaning they have their own car, okay, or maybe they have a motorcycle, so they have their own transport. So B, willing to work abroad, overseas. C, possess good interactive skills. Or D, 1 to 2 years of experience. So, what criteria must they have except for one of these statements? So, let's look at the text. Job opportunity, marketing staff required. Okay, so they are looking for full-time or freelancers. We'll look at this word later, freelancers. So we are looking for result-oriented, energetic, and hardworking marketing executives, male or female, with good interpersonal and communication skills for our New Delhi office. Individuals looking for internships may also apply. So requirements. So you see the word requirements. Alright, so you are to look at this section because in the question, you're looking for the requirements. So, number 1, minimum qualification must be degree graduates. MBA will be preferred. Alright, number 2, 1 to 2 years of relevant experience. And number 3, own conveyance is a must. So, interested candidates should email their curriculum vitae to this email right here. So, let's look at the words. Freelancers, result-oriented, interpersonal internships, MBA, relevant, and conveyance. Okay, freelancer. What is a freelancer? A freelancer is somebody who works without being connected to any company or boss. So they are self-employed. Okay, they don't have a boss, they don't have a company, they look for work by themselves. So that is what you call a freelancer. Alright, so orient. What is orient? Orient means it's a focus or direction. In Malay, okay, you also say focus or cenderung. If you combine it together with the word results, so result-oriented means you're focused on getting results. Alright, next one. Interpersonal. Interpersonal meaning relationships between people. internship, meaning training for practical experience in a company, usually without pay. Okay, in other words, you say you're doing a practical. So it's also called an internship. What is an MBA? An MBA is an acronym or a short form for Masters in Business Administration. So MBA. Ijazah sarjana dalam pentadbiran perniagaan. Okay, so next one. Relevant. What is relevant? Related, berkaitan. Conveyance, meaning you can travel or you move from one place to another on your own. Okay, in other words, you can say something like pengalihan. So, now that you know the words, I am going to give you 15 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds. Which criteria must the candidates have except for one of these statements? Alright, so starting now. Number 6, what is the answer? If you answered B, willing to work abroad, then you're correct. Okay. Why is the answer for question 6 B? Okay, let's look at all the options. A, have own transport. Where can you find this answer? The answer, the hint is here. Own conveyance is a must. Alright, so this tells you that the candidate must have their own transport. So A is correct. C, possess good interactive skills. You can find the answer here. Okay, so good interpersonal and communication skills is the same as C. And last one, 1 to 2 years of experience. So it's stated here, 1 to 2 years of relevant experience. The only statement that is not mentioned in the text is B, willing to work abroad. So the answer is B. Okay, so now let's look at question 7. Based on the chart above, which of the following statements is correct about Susan Wong? A, she reports to Kenny Souza. Okay, dia membuat laporan kepada Kenny Souza. B, she is the president of the Leo Club. C, she receives instructions from Michael Raj. D, she gives instructions to the vice president. Okay, so let's look at the organizational chart here. Michael Raj is the president. Azlina Ahmad is the vice president. Susan Wong is the secretary. Okay, she's the focus of this question. Kenny Souza is the treasurer, and he has 2 assistants. Okay, Muhammad Irfan and Saras Munusami. So which of the statements here is correct about Susan Wong? I'll give you 15 seconds. Please think of the question now. Time's up. If you answered question 7, if you answered C, she receives instructions from Michael Raj, then you are correct. Because Michael Raj is the president, so he's the one on top. So he will be giving orders or instructions to all these people down here. So, number 7, the answer is C. She receives instructions from Michael Raj. Alright, question 8. From the dialogue above, we can say that the boy is A, curious, okay, ingin tahu, B, creative, C, confused, D, confident. Let's look at the text. Boy says, Grandpa, what does it feel like to be, you know? Then Grandpa says, old. And the boy says, well, you age. And Grandpa says, doesn't feel any different really. I still feel like myself for the most part, and I still behave the same way. And the boy says, that's good. What is the secret? And then Grandpa says, the secret is to avoid looking in the mirror. So Grandpa is actually a little bit sarcastic here. Okay, so we can say that the boy is, so which one is it? A, curious, B, creative, C, confused, or D, confident. So 15 seconds starting now. Alright, time's up. So question 8. If you answered curious, then yes, you are correct. So the boy is curious about how the grandpa feels when he's old. Alright, he wants to know what it feels like to be an old person. So the answer is 8. Alright, so now let's move on to questions 9 to 15. As you can see here, I have already underlined all words that I want to talk about in this text. So let's go through it as quickly as we can. So, hundreds of pounds of abandoned gear and trash are left on Mount Everest every year. For decades, bad weather, sheer exhaustion, and injury, question number 9, climbers to leave a trail of litter all the way to the mountain's peak. Many teams are, question number 10, a strong effort to reduce the waste on the mountain. However, there has been an increase in climbers, question number 11, makes waste management a major problem on the world's highest peak. The Inventor Everest 2000 Environmental Expedition Climbing Team plans on, question number 12, all the garbage from Everest high camps and shipping it back to the States for disposal and recycling. The team, question number 13, to hire 25 to 30 Sherpa guides to help them in their cleanup quest. The abandoned tents, the poles, the fuel canisters, oxygen bottles, and the garbage on this beautiful peak will be removed. If a group of people can go up there, question 14, clean up the mountain to help the environment, we hope to inspire, question number 15, to clean up the environment closer to home, the team leader of Inventor said. Other teams have cleaned up trash on the mountains, but Inventor's expedition is the first attempt to completely clean up the high camps of trash. So now that you have listened to the text and we have underlined the vocabulary, let's look at the meanings of the words just now, starting from the word pound. So a pound is a measurement for weight. 1 pound equals 0.45 kg. Okay, and the next one is abandoned, which means left behind. In Malay, say terbiar. A decade is 10 years. Sheer meaning nothing other than. Alright, and then the next word is exhaustion, completely tired or worn out. When you combine sheer and exhaustion together, okay, sheer exhaustion, it means out of energy. It's very, very hard to move. Okay, you're very, very tired. Next word, litter, meaning rubbish. A peak is the top of a mountain or a hill. Disposal is to throw away. A quest, meaning mission. A canister is a round or cylindrical container used for storing things such as food, chemicals, and rolls of film. Okay, inspire, meaning to motivate. And an expedition is a journey by a group of people, usually for exploration. Now that you have listened to the text and also learned the meanings of the words in the text, we are going to return to the questions. So we have questions 9 to 15. I'm going to give you 15 seconds as well, but if you need more time, please go ahead and pause the video. So 15 seconds starting from now. Alright, so time's up. Let's discuss the answers. I'm going to give you all the answers first, and then I will explain why the answer is that one for that question. Okay, so question 9 is A, have forced. Question 10 is C, making. Question 11 is also C, which. Question 12 is D, removing. Question 13 is A, hopes. Question 14 is B, and question 15 is B, people. Okay, so let us continue with the grammar explanation for each question. We start with question 9. Question 9 is what we call an SVA question. Alright, so SVA stands for Subject Verb Agreement. If you cannot remember all the rules, please go online and search for it, but I will explain the basic rule here. So what is subject verb agreement? Subject verb agreement means that in your sentence, if you have a plural subject, then you will use a plural verb. But if you have a singular subject, then you will use a singular verb. So for example, let's look at this question. The subject here, okay, as I have highlighted, is climbers. So climbers with an S, okay, you definitely know that this is a plural subject. Okay, so there are many of them, many climbers. When you have a plural subject like climbers, then you will have a plural verb like have. Okay, so let's say you are using a pronoun. What kind of pronouns go with plural verbs? So I've written down here, I, you, we, and they will use a plural verb. So I and you are special. Even though they refer to one person, you will still use a plural verb. Okay, so I, you, we, they, you will use a plural verb. So for example, have, I have, you have, we have, they have. Okay, so what if you are using singular pronouns? Like he, she, and it. So he, she, and it, you will use singular verbs. So what is the singular verb of have? Okay, I haven't written it down, but the singular verb of have is has. Okay, the singular verb is has. So if you look at the question 9, all right, so which one is it? Have forced, has forced, had forced, is forcing. Okay, so the answer here, you will be answering with have forced, because number 1, you are going to use a plural verb. Okay, and number 2, you're going to use present tense. Okay, because you can already see a hint here, are. So this is present tense. So you're going to use present tense, therefore C is out. Okay, and B and donkey are out because has and is, these are what we call singular verbs. So the only answer that is acceptable is A, have forced. Moving on to question number 10. Okay, question number 10. Many teams are, okay, question number 10, a strong effort. So the answer is making. Many teams are making a strong effort. So why do you use making continuous tense? Okay, because this action is still going on at this time, so you use making continuous tense. Okay, next question, question 11. Question 11, however, there has been an increase in climbers, which makes waste management a major problem. So why do you use which? Okay, you look at the subject of this sentence. Okay, there has been an increase in climbers. Okay, there has been an increase in climbers. So the subject here is this whole phrase, and you are talking about this issue, the issue that there are so many people on Mount Everest right now. Okay, so there's only one issue. Okay, you're talking about an issue here. Therefore, when you answer question 11, you cannot answer with who. Okay, because the subject here is not climbers, but the issue that there are a lot of climbers on Mount Everest. Okay, so definitely answer A and D are out because these refer to people. Okay, you can only use who and whose if your subject is about a person. But for now, because the subject is about an issue, so the answer will be C. Okay, all right, moving on to question 12. Question 12. The Inventor Everest 2000 Environmental Expedition Climbing Team plans on removing. Okay, so this one is also a continuous tense. Okay, you are doing this action right now. And one more thing that you need to see is the word on. Okay, when you see the word on is usually followed by verbs with ing. Okay, so I'm going to write it here, verb plus ing. Okay, so I repeat, when you see the verb on, sorry, not verb, word, a preposition, okay, on is a preposition. When you see the preposition on, you follow it up with a verb plus ing. Okay, so I'm going to give you a sentence. I'm going to give you a sentence using the same rule that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so for example, he is planning on visiting his grandmother tomorrow. Okay, so he is planning on visiting his grandmother tomorrow. So like I mentioned just now, you can see the preposition on and then followed by a verb, visit, plus ing. Alright, so another sentence using the same grammar rule. She is intent on winning the competition. Okay, so she is intent meaning she's very determined. Okay, sangat berniat. She is intent on winning the competition. So when you see the preposition on, it's followed by a verb plus ing. Okay, so that's why for question 12, the answer is removing. Okay, now we go on to question 13. The team to hire 25 to 30 Sherpa guides. So the answer is hopes. Okay, you use the present tense for this one. Okay, hopes. Number 14, if a group of people can go up there, okay, so the answer is and. This is a conjunction question. Okay, conjunction. Penghubung ayat. Okay, so you use the conjunction and. And the last one, we hope to inspire. Okay, the answer is people. We hope to inspire people to clean up the environment closer to home. Alright, let's look at why A, C, and D are wrong. Okay, so A meaning a person, only one person. So definitely this is wrong. Okay, we're talking about a lot of people here. So why is C wrong? C, crowd, meaning a group of people. Okay, and D, public, means all people in general, orang ramai. Okay, so the answer is either B or donkey. Okay, people or public. But when you look at the sentence, we hope to inspire ... to clean up the environment. If you want to use D, public, you need to have the word the, okay, in front in order to use the answer D, public. But since the word the is not here, okay, let me write it down. Since the word the is not here, you cannot use the answer D. Okay, so the only answer that is acceptable is B. So we have come to the end of section A for the SPM trial examination for Perak. So before I go, let me remind you again that I will upload this vocabulary list in Google Drive. The link will be in the description down below. And I also have a quiz that I want you all to do that is related to the vocabulary in this section. Alright, we have come to the end of the video. So before I go, I'm just going to talk about the quiz that I mentioned earlier. So if you look at the description box of this video, there is the link towards this quiz that I made using the Quizlet website. And you can see all the words that were in section A just now, all the vocabulary that you learned. So I would like you to look at all the meanings again, either through the flashcards here, okay, or you can use the list down here. If you use the list, okay, you can press this symbol, okay, to make the website read the word out for you. So let's try with the first one.
Isolated rain, interrupted rain, shift, move.
Okay, so this is in the list. if you would like to use the flashcards, all you need to do is click the flashcard and the meaning will come out here. If you would like to listen to the pronunciation while you use your flashcards, you need to go into full screen, okay, like this. You press full screen, and then you can also click audio.
Interrupted rain.
Okay, and then the audio will read it out for you. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to another section of this website. So apart from learning the flashcards, or if you learn from the list, okay, it's up to you. Apart from learning the meanings here, I want you to also do a test. Okay, so you click test, and the website will generate questions for you. So there are a few types of questions. This one is a written question, so you need to type out your answer here. And there are some where you just match the alphabet to the word here. And then you also have objective questions. Okay, so I would like you to try this test as well. And if you're feeling a bit adventurous, you can also play this game here called Match. Okay, so when you press on Match, they will generate a game where you need to make everything disappear by dragging the corresponding items onto each other to make them disappear. Okay, so let's start the game and let's try. So you have the words here. Okay, I'm sorry, you have the words here, and then you have the meanings of these words. So you need to match these words towards the terms or vocabulary that you learned. So for example, left behind. Okay, in Malay it's the biar. So which word do you think has the same, has the meaning left behind? Okay, so the answer is abandoned. You will pull it over and you'll make it disappear. Okay, so I repeat, when you go to the Quizlet website, first of all, okay, please go to the flashcard section and learn the meanings of the words. Or if you want to, you can just scroll down here and you can use the list here. Okay, or you can also use the flashcards. Number 2, I would like you to try the test. And last of all, please do the match game. Alright, so we've reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, please comment down below, okay? And I will try to answer them in the comments as well. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.